Slovenia begins not with a postcard, but with several worlds, meeting within a country small enough to cross before sunset. At dawn, the Adriatic coast opens the story, while mountain villages wait beyond forests, vineyards, rivers, and quiet country roads. From Koper and Piran, Slovenia looks Mediterranean, shaped by salt air, stone houses, fishing history, and bright coastal light today. Yet only hours later, the landscape rises toward the Julian Alps, where colder air changes the rhythm of everyday life. Between these extremes, people build lives that are practical, connected, and quietly proud of their complicated and beautiful geography together. This is not a country defined only by lakes, castles, or famous caves, although each remains part of its identity. Slovenia's deeper story belongs to ordinary mornings, local customs, family decisions, and the constant negotiation between nature and progress itself. Across the country, the same question quietly returns. How can a small nation remain modern without losing its character completely? The answer does not appear in one city. It unfolds across Slovenia, from sea level toward forests, farms, and valleys. We will follow that journey across Slovenia, discovering how geography shapes work, food, homes, traditions, challenges, and everyday belonging today. The pace will be unhurried because understanding Slovenia requires noticing relationships rather than collecting landmarks like items on a list. In Maribor, the journey finds a civic heart, but its meaning becomes clearer when compared with smaller towns and villages. In Koper and Piran, the country introduces itself through water, stone, and a relaxed coastal atmosphere. If this way of life feels worth exploring, subscribe now and join us as Slovenia reveals itself chapter by chapter. Slovenia lies between the Alps, the Adriatic, the Pannonian Plain, and the karst landscapes of its southwest region and borders. This position gives the country an unusual variety, with snowy peaks, limestone caves, rolling hills, vineyards, wetlands, and coastal towns. Around Bled, the mountains create a dramatic horizon, yet the surrounding settlements remain gentler, greener, and more domestic in character. Near Bohinj, forests and water meet in a landscape where weather still influences travel, agriculture, recreation, and seasonal work directly. In the Soča Valley, the turquoise river cuts through mountains, connecting villages while reminding residents that beauty also demands protection. Karst is not merely scenery. Around Postojna and Škocjan, water has carved chambers that reveal the patient power of time. Toward Batuj and Murska Sobota, the land opens into farmland, thermal springs, and broad skies influenced by Central European seasons. These regions feel different, yet roads, railways, and rivers keep them connected to Ljubljana and one another throughout the year. The climate changes quickly, from mild coastal winters to colder alpine nights and humid continental weather across the northeast too. This variety affects architecture, clothing, food, commuting, and even the way communities understand distance and convenience from place to place. A Slovenian morning can begin beside the sea, continue beneath alpine cliffs, and end among vineyards near the Croatian border. Because the country is compact, these contrasts are not distant curiosities. They can belong to one household, business, or weekend. Geography therefore becomes more than a backdrop. it becomes a daily companion, offering opportunity while setting limits for every generation. To understand living in Slovenia, we must now leave the map behind and enter the hours shaped by this land. In Ljubljana, mornings often begin with movement. Buses arrive, bicycles pass, cafes open, and commuters cross streets with practiced calm. Students move towards schools and universities, while workers begin another day in offices, shops, hospitals, workshops, and public institutions across the capital. In Celje and Kranj, the routine may feel smaller, but its purpose remains familiar. Work, school, errands, appointments, and time together. The distance between home and daily responsibilities is often manageable, allowing people to maintain routines without spending most of the day in traffic. Daily life balances independence, with a strong expectation that people remain available to relatives, neighbors, and local communities when needed. A family member may help with childcare, home repairs, transportation, or shopping, creating a practical network that quietly supports everyday life. Shops and services may close earlier than visitors expect, reflecting a culture that values personal time, weekends, and predictable rhythms. Sundays can feel noticeably quieter, especially in smaller towns, where fewer businesses remain open and people use the day to rest or spend time with family. In Maribor, a work day can flow toward the Drava River, where conversation continues after offices, classrooms, and workshops become quiet. Cafes and riverside paths create places where people can pause without needing a special occasion, turning ordinary evenings into moments of connection. In rural Prekmurje, distances are longer, so errands often combine several purposes. A trip to town may include groceries, banking, medical appointments, and visits to relatives. In these communities, neighbors also notice who has not appeared recently, making social awareness part of daily life. Families organize their lives around school calendars, seasonal obligations, birthdays, religious holidays, and the quiet, practical work of maintaining homes together. Children grow up hearing Slovenian, but many also encounter English, neighboring languages, and international influences through school, media, travel, and work. In Nova Gorica, proximity to Italy can create a more cross-border rhythm, while in Kranjska Gora, tourism influences employment, traffic, and the timing of daily routines. In each region, people adjust their habits to the opportunities and limitations created by their surroundings. Public life tends to reward consideration, punctuality, and competence, although every community has its own pace, humor, and disagreements. In the evening, people may meet for coffee, walk beside a river, exercise outdoors, attend a local event, or return home for shared conversation. These habits create a life that feels orderly without being empty, because routine leaves room for friendships and unexpected invitations. At the same time, rising costs, longer commutes, and digital work are changing how people define convenience, productivity, and balance. The rhythm is not identical across Slovenia, yet the country shares a preference for lives that remain connected to place. That connection becomes especially visible inside the home, where architecture, family history, and everyday comfort meet in quiet, familiar ways. From Ljubljana's apartment neighborhoods to the farmhouses of Prekmurje, daily life is shaped by the same underlying idea. Modern life should remain useful, but it should not completely erase the time people have for one another. Across Ljubljana, the coast, and the villages beneath Bohinj, homes reveal how Slovenian families balance privacy with togetherness across generations. Apartment living is common in cities where limited space encourages careful organization, shared courtyards, and practical furniture. In Ljubljana's outer neighborhoods, newer buildings stand beside older homes, showing how the capital expands while preserving familiar streets nearby. Around Škofja Loka and Radovljica, older houses often carry thick walls, steep roofs, wooden details, and memories shared through families. In the hills near Goriška Brda, homes may face vineyards, with balconies and courtyards designed for work, shade, and conversation. Along the coast, near Izola, shutters, stone, and sea air create a different domestic language, shaped by nearby Mediterranean history. Families may live close to grandparents, even when younger generations study or work in Ljubljana, Maribor, or abroad for years. This closeness can provide childcare, practical help, and emotional support, but it can also create expectations about responsibility and choice. The meaning of family is therefore both comforting and demanding, especially when housing costs make independent living harder for newcomers. Kitchens remain important spaces, not only for preparing meals, but for exchanging news, solving problems, and marking ordinary evenings. In mountain regions, wood, stone, gardens, and storage areas reflect a practical relationship with weather, seasons, and self-reliance needs. Yet homes are also changing through insulation, solar panels, efficient heating, internet access, and new ideas about comfort today too. The result is not a conflict between old and new, but a gradual negotiation carried out room by room. To understand Slovenia's values, one must notice how people care for places that carry both personal memories and national history. Slovenian food begins with landscape, because the coast, mountains, forests, farms, and plains each contribute distinct ingredients to local kitchens. In Piran and Portorož, Mediterranean influences appear through fish, olive oil, herbs, and dishes shaped by Italy and local history. In the karst around Sežana, air-dried ham and strong regional flavors reflect stone villages, wind, patience, and careful preservation. Near the Vipava Valley, vineyards and gardens support meals that often feel generous, seasonal, and closely tied to conversation together. In Ljubljana's markets, farmers, bakers, cheesemakers, and small producers meet customers who want both convenience and recognizable origins in food. Soups, breads, dumplings, stews, potatoes, beans, and seasonal vegetables appear in many forms across the country from home to home. Desserts carry their own geography, from patika in kitchens to cream-filled specialties associated with Alpine towns and festive tables. Food is rarely only nourishment. It is a method of remembering grandparents, welcoming guests, celebrating harvests, and maintaining regional identity. At village festivals near Ptuj, preparation can begin long before visitors arrive, turning cooking into collective work and public celebration. In Maribor, wine culture connects vineyards, restaurants, family traditions, and new interest in thoughtful local production for younger generations today. Coffee and conversation also matter, creating pauses where news travels, friendships deepen, and the day briefly slows down for everyone. The country is small, but its culinary vocabulary changes between valleys, borders, elevations, and family histories from region to region. That diversity gives residents a strong sense that Slovenia belongs not to one recipe, but to many overlapping tables together. To share food here is often to share time, and that simple exchange leads naturally toward the country's social life. Slovenia's economy is diverse, combining manufacturing, tourism, logistics, technology, agriculture, healthcare, education, and small family enterprises across its regions today. Ljubljana concentrates public institutions, universities, finance, media, and technology, making the capital an important center of opportunity for younger workers. Maribor has long industrial experience, while its cultural institutions, universities, and surrounding vineyards support new forms of economic activity today. Koper and the port of Koper connect Slovenia to international trade, bringing cargo, transport services, and employment to the coast. Around Novo Mesto, industry, research, vineyards, and rural communities exist alongside roads linking southeastern Slovenia with markets and nearby trade. In the northeast, farms, food production, tourism, and cross-border connections shape work around Murska Sobota and Lendava every day. Tourism provides income in Bled, Bohinj, Piran, and Soča Valley, but it also creates seasonal pressure on housing and services. Many businesses remain small, relying on specialized knowledge, personal relationships, and an ability to adapt when markets change again. Work life can therefore feel stable in some sectors and uncertain in others, especially for young adults entering expensive markets. Commuting patterns connect villages with cities, allowing people to keep rural homes while pursuing urban education, employment, and services nearby. Remote work is gradually changing these choices, although reliable internet cannot replace every workplace, workshop, farm, school, or hospital yet. Slovenia's economic question is not simply how to grow, but how to grow without exhausting landscapes or weakening communities at home. This tension appears everywhere, from Alpine tourism to coastal logistics, and from high technology to traditional farming across the country. The way people work reveals a national ambition: remain connected to Europe while preserving a life that still feels local. Social life in Slovenia often gathers around places where people can recognize one another, from Ljubljana cafes to village squares. Friendships may begin at school, work, sports clubs, cultural associations, family celebrations, or long conversations over coffee after work together. In towns such as Kamnik and Škofja Loka, historic streets provide settings for markets, performances, processions, and seasonal gatherings today. Religious traditions remain visible in many communities, even when personal belief varies and public life becomes increasingly secular over time. Christmas, Easter, Saints' Days, harvest events, and local festivals provide opportunities for families to return, reconnect, and prepare food together. Around Patuj, carnival traditions carry deep local meaning, combining masks, humor, performance, and a sense of community inheritance through generations. In the Bela Krajina region, music, dance, embroidery, and communal celebrations express identities shaped by borders, migrations, and memory together. The country's language is a powerful link, but dialects and expressions remind people that identity contains voices from every region. Sports also unite communities, with football, basketball, skiing, cycling, hiking, and other activities, creating friendships across generations in every region. Near Bled and Kranjska Gora, outdoor recreation is popular, yet it often becomes social rather than purely individual for residents. People meet on trails, beside rivers, at neighborhood events, and during activities that make conversation feel natural rather than forced. Hospitality is often expressed through practical generosity, a shared meal, a ride, advice, or an invitation to return again soon. This does not mean every community is identical. It means belonging is repeatedly created through participation and attention over time. By evening, the social map of Slovenia feels wider than its borders because local life connects memory, place, and future. Life in Slovenia offers security and beauty, but neither is evenly experienced, and the country faces pressures shared across Europe. Housing is a central concern, especially in Ljubljana, where demand, limited space, tourism, and investment raise costs for many households. Younger adults may study successfully, yet finding affordable homes near employment can delay independence, marriage, children, or returning to towns. Coastal communities around Koper and Piran manage tourism growth, traffic, environmental pressure, and the challenge of maintaining year-round life. Alpine areas face similar questions as visitors seek dramatic landscapes, while residents need quiet roads, affordable services, and dependable infrastructure. Rural regions confront population decline, aging communities, fewer services, and the difficulty of keeping schools, shops, and public transport active. Agriculture remains important culturally and economically, but farmers must respond to changing weather, market pressures, labor shortages, and land competition. Climate change adds uncertainty through hotter summers, heavier rainfall, droughts, storms, and changing conditions for forests and agriculture across Slovenia. Public services are generally valued, yet access can differ between central cities, border regions, mountain valleys, and remote villages today. Integration is another challenge, as migration brings new languages, skills, businesses, and relationships into communities with established habits and expectations. None of pressures erase Slovenia's strengths, but they force decisions about who benefits from growth and who bears its costs. In every region, people debate how to remain open, prosperous, and environmentally responsible without becoming unaffordable or disconnected from residents. These debates make the country more human because they reveal that progress is never only a statistic or construction project. The next question is how Slovenia can modernize while keeping the relationships and landscapes that make everyday life recognizable. Slovenia's modern identity is visible in universities, digital services, clean infrastructure, international businesses, and fast connections between cities and regions. Ljubljana feels increasingly international, with students, workers, entrepreneurs, and visitors bringing ideas from across Europe and beyond into everyday life. At the same time, traditional craft, seasonal food, local dialects, village festivals, and family gatherings continue to matter deeply today. In Adria, heritage linked to mining and lace demonstrates how old skills can become cultural resources rather than disappear completely. In the Soča Valley, outdoor tourism uses modern marketing and technology, yet depends on landscapes protected through long community memory. Smart homes, electric vehicles, online banking, and remote work coexist with wood stoves, gardens, farm tools, and inherited recipes daily. Modernity, therefore, arrives unevenly, often entering old spaces instead of replacing them entirely, gradually across generations in every region too. A renovated farmhouse near Shenjur may contain high-speed internet, energy-efficient heating, and furniture inherited from several generations past. A family in Nova Gorica may cross a border for work, shopping, education, or culture while still maintaining local routines. The tension is productive when it encourages adaptation, but painful when modernization raises prices or weakens people who built communities. Slovenia's tradition is not frozen in the past. It survives when people continue choosing, practicing, and explaining it to others. Its modern future will depend on whether innovation can strengthen life instead of turning every place into the same marketplace. The balance may not be perfect, but it can remain recognizable, flexible, and rooted in places where people live together. From Piran to Murska Sobota, Slovenia's future is being negotiated daily through countless ordinary decisions made by ordinary people everywhere. Why do people stay in Slovenia when larger countries may offer more money, bigger cities, or broader professional opportunities elsewhere? The answer begins with proportion. Life feels close enough to manage, yet varied enough to keep revealing new places nearby. A morning in Ljubljana can lead to lunch beside Lake Bled, an afternoon in Koper, an air along the coast. That closeness creates freedom because people can change scenery without abandoning familiar networks, family ties, or practical support at home. Many residents value public order, clean surroundings, accessible nature, and the confidence that daily life can remain predictable overall too. Others stay because work, language, family history, and belonging are not easily replaced by a higher salary or distant promise. In rural Slovenia, staying can mean caring for land, animals, relatives, traditions, or businesses built slowly through difficult years together. In cities, staying can mean investing in neighborhoods, raising children near grandparents, or choosing community over constant movement and uncertainty. Slovenia does not promise a life without problems. It offers a scale at which problems can sometimes be faced collectively. The country's beauty matters, but its strongest attraction may be the possibility of belonging somewhere that remains understandable and human. From the Adriatic to the Alps, people inherit differences, but they also inherit a shared responsibility for places between them. That responsibility appears in protected rivers, repaired homes, family recipes, local festivals, careful work, and simple invitations to stay longer. It is a quiet form of patriotism, not loud or perfect, built through care rather than slogans, monuments, or declarations. If Slovenia's story gave you reason to explore more and worry less, subscribe and return for another journey with us.